Hello, I'm Gregory Fedora, and this is the Fedora Files. Pet rocks. Why? Well, it was a huge fad in the 70s, and I was challenged to do a podcast on pet rocks. So here it is. I invited my good friend Chip Stetson to join me, who had no idea what we were about to talk about. It was a surprise podcast hit. He thought we were going to talk about the ghosts of Savannah that he'd researched and visited and done a lot of stuff with. But no, I sprung pet rocks on him. So let's see how this glorious podcast goes. With me, my staunch pal who comes along when I need him, Chip Stetson. Welcome back to
Thanks for having me.
Files.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Living in the Midwest, dealing with allergies, just
living the dream.
It's horrible up here right now, just pollen everywhere.
So the last time you were on, we had mentioned that you might have some information and some stories about Savannah.
That is absolutely right. And I even took some pictures I sent over to you. One of the more interesting places was like the Pink House, which is one of the...
But wait. Before you get into this, we're not going to talk about Savannah tonight.
We're not talking about Savannah?
No, we got something better. Now, I was throwing out a challenge, and I've accepted it. And I'm going... Today, I brought you along because I know you, and I've known you a long time.
Yeah.
Someone wanted me to do a podcast about pet rocks. And so you and I are going to talk about pet rocks.
Pet rocks.
This is going to be exciting. Now I've done some research. No, we're going to wait on Savannah. It's going to have to wait for another time. I've done research on pet rocks. And let me just say, I want to start off by saying what humans have done to rocks is reprehensible. Okay.
Okay.
For billions of years, let's say if you believe in evolution, for billions of years, rocks have roamed free throughout the universe. In fact, the earth is a giant rock. Okay. We live on a giant rock. And if you believe creation, it's still, some say 6,000 years. Some will still say it's millions, depending on where you fall in creation, but still it's a rock, and God created that rock. If you go that route, either way, it's a rock. We live on this rock. We should be more respectful to rocks. And like I said, for millennia, rocks have roamed free, and they rolled, they went down mountains, they killed people, all kinds of stuff. And David in the Bible killed a guy with rocks. Rocks were formidable, powerful things we use these rocks for. But then come 1975, a guy named Gary Dahl domesticated rocks. He found rocks, said, you know what? Yeah, you're powerful. You're strong. You make up our planet. I'm going to turn you into my pet. That's what humans do. We find these magnificent things like rocks, and you're my pet now.
It was only the 1960s, though.
No, 70s is 1970s. Yeah, we were just...
So they didn't get domesticated. They didn't get domesticated like in ancient Egypt, along with cats.
You know what? You might be onto something, because people always are wondering how the pyramids were built, like some slaves or aliens.
Right.
Perhaps the Egyptians domesticated them. Maybe that they taught them to stack on top of each other. That's how bad we're. Like, teach them to do a trick. Here, get on top of each other. Now don't move.
Or Easter Island.
Yeah.
Got the Easter Island heads, They said that they walked down the hill and,
and then they buried them up to their necks.
Yeah.
And we now know that they're giant. They have full bodies. So these poor rocks were carved, and it's, hey, walk down there, get in that hole. Just get in the hole.
So we didn't really,
and then they're like this.
We didn't treat them very well.
Yeah, well, they're like this. They're stuck like this forever, That's, humans have treated rocks horribly. Now, I want to know, and I'm guilty, though. I'm guilty of this. I had a pet rock.
Yeah, I did too. It wasn't a good rock. I mean, I kind of got the bad spectrum rock. I mean, it wasn't domesticated. The pebbles all over the place. Broke like 3 vacuum cleaners trying to clean up after it. It was just.
Where's your pet rock now?
It's probably buried in the sandbox with all the stone.
That's what I was going to say. Now here's the thing. It's like now my pet rock, I will be honest, it wasn't technically mine. It was my sister's, but I remember it.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say I was an amazing human and I set it free. In
Oh,
other words, I took it outside, I lost it, and it's gone. But
well, at least you
I
didn't
prefer
like.
to say I set it free.
Yeah. Well, I think that sounds better.
Yeah, and so I did my part on that and saved the rocks. Now I have some testimonials, and I have a video testimonial, so let's listen to that real quick.
Okay.
And it's from a guy named Orlando. I'm gonna just say his first name because I think once you hear this video, you're gonna be like, he probably doesn't want his last name out there. So people
you
don't
don't want
look
to.
him up. Yeah, that like once you hear this, you're gonna be like, whoa, that guy has a love for his pet rock. So here it is. Here, let's listen to that.
Okay.
My pet rock. Her name was Penelope. We used to go on long walks around the block. Mind you, nobody saw her because, that'd be embarrassing. She would be in my pockets. She didn't pee much. I did try to feed her a couple of times. Didn't eat. I used to try to feed her water all the time. Didn't drink. But she spent a lot of her nights right next to me on my nightstand. Before Tamagotchi was Tamagotchi, the pet rock was Tamagotchi. Except she was real. She was the realest thing I've ever had.
So there you go. There, that's Orlando. Orlando and his pet rock. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now I asked people to send me in these things, and he actually sent a video, and I was like, I'm impressed. So thank you, Orlando, for that. I will not make fun of you for that. Now, but I do have a couple write-ins.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that many people had pet rocks.
Yeah, well, people do, and some people said they did, but then didn't want either. They didn't want me to share their story, or they just didn't tell me the story. Other than I had a pet rock.
Okay.
So this first person said I could read it, but they wished to remain anonymous, and they, as you'll hear, you'll probably put it together and see why they want it. All right. Again, my pet rock just sits there staring at me. It's watching me right now, judging me, judging my actions, judging me writing about it. I know what I'm doing, and it knows what I'm doing. It's clever, more clever than me, I'd wager. I don't want to be the one to say it, but if you don't want someone staring at you all day, all night, all week, don't get a pet rock. If, though, you want to be watched this intently, you best consider this as a great option rather than hiring a stranger to sit in your house. I did that, and he ate all my food. So that is that person right there. That is someone who I understand why they would want to be anonymous. Now I have another
Okay.
one. This is Jenny. It's interesting that the people who actually wrote in like that, the one who wanted to remain anonymous was female. We had one male, Orlando, but the rest of these all come from ladies. So I don't know. Maybe pet rocks were more, women were more, motherly, and they wanted, to take care of the poor little rock, get through to its hard, tiny little heart. But here's Jenny. Jenny said, when my pet rock, Rocky, arrived, it was just before Christmas. But kind of like you, we had problems from day one. First, Rocky was not housebroken and left pebbles all over the house.
Thank you. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, see. Second, he has been hard to train, has only been able to master sit and stay. I guess it just takes patience and time. I have friends who say their pet rocks also know attack and fly when given the right motivation.
It means they're actually.
Yes. I'm assuming that they are chucking their pets.
They need a little bit of assistance with that. Yeah.
Now here's the last of the written in ones. This one's a little bit longer.
Okay.
And it says, "Dear Mr. Fedora, I heard that you were interested in stories about people who have pet rocks. Well, I have a most wonderful story for you about me and my pet rock, Osmond. Osmond came into my life when I was very sad. In fact, my boyfriend had just broken up with me because I was too clingy and a psycho. And it was later that same night when Osmond literally came crashing through my window. I knew no one would have thrown a rock through my window because that would have been mean. And I know rocks can't fly, so he must have jumped through it by accident, thinking that there wasn't glass there, like deer sometimes do. After I made sure Osmond was okay, I knew I couldn't send him back outside into the cold. So I adopted him then and there, and we were best friends for very many years. He turned my frown upside down. Osmond always listened to me when I needed someone to talk to, and he never judged me and never once tried to run away from me, which is more than I can say for my stupid old boyfriends.
Plural, yeah.
Yeah. We were inseparable. However, I do wish this story had a happier ending. Osmond is no longer with me after a tragic visit to the beach. Since I took him everywhere with me, I thought he'd enjoy a trip to the ocean. Sadly, I quickly discovered that rocks can't swim or float. Osmond sank like a rock. I've got another pet rock now named Jiggles, but there will never be another Osmond, and he will live forever in my heart and the Facebook page I have dedicated to him. Rock on, Teehee, Cynthia.
Wow.
Did you ever date a Cynthia?
I was going to ask you about the name on that, but then I'm like, okay.
I like, because it sounds like somebody you would date. I don't know. Like,
yeah, it really does. It sounds like a couple of
sounds like your type. I can get her
never
email.
know that though at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's after that you've gotten involved that you realize how big a mistake you made.
Well, here's the thing is, going in what she's like, so maybe it'd be different. I'll get you her email.
Okay. Why not?
Yeah. Well, now what's interesting is, have you seen the new Minions: The Rise of Gru?
I have not. I've seen the commercials, but
okay.
you know.
Well, I mean, this is a tiny spoiler. It's not really, but
I don't know how you can spoil a movie like that. I mean, this plot's kind of bleeding through the whole television.
I went and saw it. It's funny. I liked it. I had a good time. I mean, it's like one of those movies. It's great for kids, but there's so many things that go over kids' heads that the parents are gonna laugh at. So it's worth seeing. Like either if your kids want to see it, go sit through it. You'll laugh. But pet rocks have an integral part in the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was phenomenal to me. That like I saw it this past weekend, right before we did this show. Like before I decided I was going to do this, and I was like, oh my gosh! To me, it was like an omen. I needed to do this. You know, not only was I challenged, but then Pet Rocks was in that movie, and it was like I said, an integral part.
Everybody, you know, at one point had a pet rock, or invisible friend.
Yeah. Now here's the thing that also bothers me though about pet rocks, like how callous. Like most people have lost them. You've lost yours. I lost mine, but we see.
No, you set yours free.
I set my free. Yeah. But we're very callous with these rocks. Like we make them pets, but then we just like, we turn them into our driveways, and we like, when they die, we just put them down and like, oh, now we're going to just park our cars on. We build things like the Egyptians out of their carcasses. We build things. And now there's this other trend. It's been around for a while. Like, and my kids have done it, is we're taking the bodies of these pet rocks and we're painting them all beautiful colors and putting motivational words on it, like hope, peace, you're loved, and throwing them in parks. Like if you like, I found a few like in DC and in other places, and it's just there in the park, just laying there, a well-painted rock, and it says this motivation. It's called, well, it's called the Kindness Rock Project. And I hope this lady doesn't get mad at me about this, but listen, they used to be pets. So, well, they used to be wild, majestic rocks in the wild. roaming free through the world. And then we domesticated them. And then when they die, we're painting their carcasses, their corpses, and putting motivation, and then throwing them in parks or wherever and hoping someone will see this dead rock with pretty colors and be like, yay, hey, I have hope now. How would people feel? And this is dark. This is dark.
All right.
Your great grandma's dead. I go dig her up. I paint her pretty colors and write hope on it and throw her in a park.
Oh, I think that would cause some commotion.
Yeah. How do you think the other rocks feel when they see their grandma who went off to live with Bobby, and they thought, oh, grandma has a good life. She's a pet to that human. And now here she is painted with a flower on it and says, cheer up. And it's her, how do the other rocks feel about this?
I have no idea. I don't have an answer for that one.
Are you right now regretting answering my call to come on today?
A little bit. Just yeah.
just a tad.
Didn't realize we were going to be talking about pet rocks, but no, I mean, it reminded me how many vacuum cleaners I had to go through.
Yeah.
And then I need to buy another one, not because of the pet rocks, but
you need,
they've got like apps that you have to download to use your vacuum cleaner. You need to download an app on your phone so you can vacuum your house. And it's got Bluetooth. I'm like, what do you need Bluetooth for?
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
No, it's too much. But now, fascinating. Now, this is true about pet rocks. Okay. I want to do a little truth to this. The guy, and I did mention his name, Gary Dahl, he refuses to do interviews about
I thought you were going to say like he died when a boulder landed on him or something.
No, not yet, but maybe.
Okay.
But he refuses to do interviews because he, quote, said, there's too many psychos out there. And
he came up with the idea of the pet rock.
No, this is
you got
genius.
people to pay for rocks,
right?
Which you can find out in the wild.
He went and it's brilliant. The guy sold over 1 million pet rocks for $4
Oh my God!
each. He became a multi-millionaire within a year.
Oh.
Because
until people realize, hey, I can just go out and get one for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you can, if you can still buy a pet rock on Amazon, they sell them, and it's still him. You can still say, I don't know how many it's sold now.
Do they have like little stories?
Yeah.
Like
they come in a box, and they come with a little guide to how to take care. It's a 32-page booklet on how to care for your pet rock.
32 pages.
Yeah, I don't know why it takes that many pages, but
yeah, okay, why not? I mean, people are spending it sounds like you're paying more for the pamphlet than the rock.
Yeah. Well, here's the great thing is, like, when he originally did it sold the pet rocks in 1975, they're $4. Now on Amazon, because I was looking into it, they're $24 for a pet rock on Amazon, and people are still buying them. And no, the people are still buying them, and they're real rocks, and people are buying them, and there's reviews on Amazon about it that people have bought them for their kids and stuff. And recently, this is happening. Like there's one that bought it for their kid who was like 10 for their birthday a month ago.
Well, I could understand it during the whole COVID lockdown, and kids couldn't play with other kids.
Yeah,
so
get them a rock.
Yeah, I'll get you a pet rock.
I wouldn't.
Can't get COVID.
Yeah, the rock can't get you COVID, and you can't get the rock COVID. And that's actually, for me, I think I should have done this. Is I should have gotten my kids rocks to see how well they could take care of that, then move up to plants, then up to an animal like a hamster, or actually a goldfish, then a hamster, and but I didn't do that.
You went straight towards the Siberian Husky.
Yeah, exactly. I went to the Husky, and then I got too excited. It's like, I need 3 of these crazy mutts. I need 3 Huskies. I need 3 more, and then a sled, and then I'm ready to go on the Iditarod. And
with global warming, that's probably gonna,
Well, you can get like those sleds now with wheels. I've seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a group.
That'd be kind of cool.
That's a whole nother show. That there's a group that actually does
the street with 6 of your dogs.
Yeah. Well, actually, the thing is, now people don't know this, but one Siberian Husky can pull 120 pounds.
Wow.
And that's how strong they are. I have 3 of them. So 3 of them could technically pull me on a sled. And the thing is, that shows, because people always say like Huskies, they're like really like, if they wanted to drag me, and I've walked them at least, I've never done all 3 together because that would be insanity, but I've walked 2 of them at a time. And if they wanted to go, I would be done. But
have they ever dragged your kids around when they were younger trying to walk them?
Well, we actually, the oldest one in the snow, we did when they were little, we did tie a thing. He had a little harness thing. We tied it to a little sled in the backyard, and he pulled them around. They had a blast, and he had a blast because they weighed like 30, 40 pounds, and he was just running around, and he was having so much fun in the snow. And so, but it was all fenced in, so he wasn't going anywhere. So, but yeah, but that's it, man. So now I want to thank you for coming on and going on this adventure with me. That
was a different one.
Now,
yeah, why not?
You do have some stuff about Savannah. So the next time you are on, we are going to talk about Savannah. I promise. Yep. I'm not going to be like sea monkeys or something. Santa Claus just walked in.
Yeah, he did. But I was like, hold on. But next time we get together, we'll start talking about that.
All right. That'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Well, well, again, thanks for coming on. And for those of you watching or listening or whatever, remember to stay safe and keep searching.
Check out FedoraCRT.com today.